My name is Bill Wood. I'm the economics editor for Plastics News. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Numbers Matter Shorts. 2024 is just getting underway. We don't really even have 2023 officially buttoned up yet. We will get more data from the end of the year in the next few weeks, and we won't really start getting first quarter data until February, something like that. But in just a few days of this year, I'm already getting the sense that the first quarter has the potential to have a lot of drama from an economics perspective. Some upside risk and some downside risk, volatility in the data. And I want to talk about that today. Let everybody know what may happen, or what to expect, what's reasonable to expect as we move forward in the next few months. So let's get started with the risks that I see. A couple of them carryover risks from last year. They're not really new risks. I can't totally ignore the geopolitical risk, the wars, Middle East, Ukraine, the Red Sea situation. Those have the potential to impact energy prices, especially. Energy prices have been trending in a very favorable direction for U.S. consumers in the past few weeks. But as we all know, that can change and change rapidly. I don't want to spend too much time talking about that because it's pretty well known, but I can't ignore it either. Another holdover risk is potential for a government shutdown. It looks like that's making some progress within Congress, and that may not actually come to happen, but until the bills are passed and signed, I can't totally rule that out. A little bit of a carryover risk. It doesn't seem too big at the moment, but again, not something I could ignore. So what's happening in this quarter that's new? Political risk, the election, the Supreme Court weighing in. I have no idea how to handicap that. I don't know if this is binary risk. I don't know how that will affect the economy, no matter what happens. I have a hard time coming up with a scenario where something beneficial comes out of this that's going to that actually boost the economic activity. I think the best we can hope for is that nothing happens, but the rhetoric is being ramped up, the primary season is kicking off, and this has the potential, in my opinion, to be somewhat disruptive to economic activity. But again, a risk I can't actually quantify. And finally, I think the big thing that's happening that is somewhat quantifiable, because there is some information about it, and that's the Fed meeting in March. There's some widespread narrative going around that the Fed may actually start to lower interest rates in March. I'm not of the opinion that's going to happen. I think the Fed waits at least until June. But as of a few days ago, the Fed funds futures numbers indicated that the majority of people thought they would start lowering their rates in March, and there would be six rate reductions in 2024. I'm kind of in the camp that there's going to be 3 to 4, and they won't start till June. Believe me, I would love for them to start lowering rates. The manufacturing sector, large segments of it anyway, are under stress, as is the residential construction. New housing is under stress from higher interest rates, and we could use some help with lower interest rates and lower value of the dollar. But I don't see that happening. And the reason why is because of the inflation data. Now, we know where they're trying to get the data under 2% consistently. On the chart, I've charted the consumer price index for goods and the consumer price index for services. And you can see that clearly the lines are moving in opposite directions over the past few months. There's two different scales. Don't get confused by that. The main takeaway is the direction, the trend of the line. We see that goods prices over the past few months have actually declined. Clearly that's under 2% inflation. But the services line is still going up, and it's going up at a pace faster than 2%. And until the overall number is below 2%, I don't see the Fed lowering their interest rates. There just isn't enough demand to push goods prices higher, and that's bad, but there's too much demand for services, and that's keeping inflation high. So that's my read of it right now. All of this could change. Like I say, we're going to get the next few days, we're going to get 2023 buttoned up. I'm not going to say that that data is a moot point or not valuable. There may be something I've missed. We'll talk about that as well. But come February, that's going to start to see the first quarter data. What can you do in the meantime? Monitor the corporate earnings situation. There's some clues there. Those reports, those statements are usually very carefully curated and rehearsed and all that. But there's still some data that guidance that may indicate what's happening in the manufacturing sector, especially going forward. So service companies, manufacturing companies, all types of companies will be reporting in the next few weeks. That's going to be important. A couple of other things. Trends in the market for U.S. Treasuries. Been favorable after hitting a peak last October. Interest rates have been coming down, and they've come down rapidly since then. But that could be turning around. The other is the value of the dollar. That moves inversely to interest rates, or I should say Treasury prices. It moves with interest rates. So those are things that help manufacturing or hurt manufacturing. Plenty of information there. We'll talk about all of this in the coming weeks.